what's up guys? Alan here, WTF USA. Where's the fish? Where's the food? Where's the fun? What the frack? Today, where's the food? Well, it's right here. I'm gonna actually do a double video today because we're doing two very simple, basically set it and forget it recipes. We're gonna do venison. Both venison. We've got venison steak we're gonna throw in the crock pot with some green mushroom, some potatoes. If you wanted, you could add celery and carrots to this mix, mushrooms, anything like that would be a good deal. We're going to go ahead and turn the crock pot on, kick it right up to high right away. Empty the cream mushroom in there. I've already scrubbed off my potatoes. So we're going to go ahead and slice these guys up. You know what? I'm only going to slice each one in half, because they're just going to soak up this flavor and they're just going to be delicious later. Now I'm only doing two. I have a very small crock pot. It's just me and my roommate here, and that's more than enough room for a meal for us. Now obviously if you have a bigger crock pot, you can in fact add 2 cups of soup, more meat, more veggies. But this is what we're working with today. So we've got a couple of potatoes. We're going to take our slab of venison. This is actually a venison steak and not a venison roast. But, you know what? It's going to be delicious. We're just going to give it a little bit of a wash over. And, you know what? There's just a little bit of silver skin on here that we're gonna take off. Now with a roast, you normally wouldn't have to worry about this, especially with a beef roast. Now with venison, it all depends on who processes your meat. If you process your meat, how in depth you get when you're actually butchering the deer. You know, if you are butchering your own deer for your own personal use, the more work you do. Obviously, when butchering the deer, the less work you do when it's time to eat. Now, obviously, meat bought in the grocery stores and stuff like that, a little bit different. It depends on the butcher you go to. You know, this is even still a little bit frozen, but this isn't a super expensive piece of meat, so if we lose a little bit getting the silver skin off, we're not going to be too sad about it. Now a lot of this is just going to kind of peel back off of it and not usually. You should actually be using like a fillet knife, but to be honest, it's not a real big deal. Like I said, we're not using a super expensive cut of meat, so losing a little bit to the silver skin isn't going to hurt my feelings. And we're good. We just literally drop that chunk down in there. Now add, I'm only going to fill about half of this cream and mushroom can up with the water. Straight down the insides. We've got a little tab of butter in there, about a tablespoon and a half, 2 tablespoons. A little bit of lemon juice. healthy dose ground black pepper. Some garlic salt. And some seasoned salt. That's literally it. Cream of mushroom, half a thing of water, some seasoning. We've got some potatoes chopped up. We got some meat ready. We're gonna go ahead and give this a mix before we toss in our potatoes. Get some of that soup started to break up and mix in with the water. You can toss in our potatoes here. And I don't know how well you can see the top of this here. Well, let's move in a little bit closer. Let's see what we're getting for a view on this. You know what? Pull the pin, just to give you an idea of what we're working with. There we go, it's almost up to the top. Back it back up here. And all we're gonna do, add a little bit of beef broth. Now, you pop a hole in both ends, that way there's airflow. And we're literally just gonna use beef broth to top this off. Gotta leave it a little bit of room, because this is gonna bubble. This is gonna bubble real good. Now, we got this on high. I'm gonna put the cap on it, and boom! Now, later tonight, that's going to be awesome. Probably keep it on high for about 2 hours. Switch it to low and let it go for about 4 hours or so. We got something else we're going to have for the in-between. And this is easy for everybody to make. This is hamburger meat. Ground venison. Oh yeah, venison burger, but also still frozen, but like with making any other tacos, frozen meat is fine. We're gonna keep it low in the beginning. Let it break down a little bit, and we've got some taco seasoning. Got some lime juice. Got some lemon juice. Get us another 2 tablespoons of butter. Get us a little bit of seasoning on there. Just to start off with. Just getting a little bit of seasoned salt. We're not going to try to season the meat too much right now, as we'll add the taco seasoning here in a bit. But this will melt down. That salt will help get in there with the butter and break everything up a little bit quicker. So, we've got the crock pot going with the venison steak that we're gonna, basically turn into a beef roast. We're gonna chop it up and it'll shred up real good in that cream of mushroom, and then we're gonna have a couple of delicious potatoes to go with it. And that'll be for later tonight. And this is gonna be a little bit here, but we will definitely come back, show you the finished product a little bit closer to the end, what we're gonna do, how we're gonna set them out, and give you a little peek at what it looks like before we eat it. But yeah, that's where we're at, guys. We'll be back just a little bit. There we go, guys. We're back. We're got our venison burger pretty much all thawed out and browned up and chopped down. Now remember, I did add another about tablespoon of butter. Venison doesn't have anywhere near the fat that beef has, so there's really not much need to strain out anything at the end. We're adding a little bit more beef broth because we're gonna add our taco seasoning. Yeah, you can add water, you could add more butter, but right now we've got probably close to a pound and a half of hamburger here. So we're basically going to use the whole package of taco seasoning up. Get a nice thorough mix around in that melted butter and that beef broth down in there, and get this nice and Alan loves his garlic, so we've got our garlic hot sauce. We're just gonna add just a little bit. Just to kick that heat up a notch. And honestly, normally I'd throw some mild salsa right in here with it. Once the meat was brown and the taco seasoning was in, the salsa would go in. But, you know what? We work with what we got sometimes. But you know what? That's alright. Just to tell me that doesn't look like delicious taco meat. It looks like delicious taco meat to me. We can kick that off the heat. Oops, kicking stuff. Getting my own way here. Gonna move that off the heat. pan back on. Give our tortilla a little bit of heat. Soften it up a bit. Now, since I'm not a vegetable guy, and other than I would have a little bit of salsa, I'm a meat and cheese guy, you'll just have to imagine what this would look like with vegetables on it. And a little bit of cheddar. A little bit of mozzarella. Nice healthy scoop of the meat. And a little bit more cheese on that. And boom, there's a taco. And we'll come back later for a bit of the roast. Here we go, guys. We're back. It's the end of the day. I had kept this on high for 2 hours, and then you know what? I let it slow roll on low for 6. So it's been 8 hours in the crock pot. These are my potatoes. You can see they've started to gather up all this delicious juice. Gonna get you over here. Look at that real quick. That meat's so tender, it basically just pulled apart for me. I didn't have to do really much of anything. We're gonna grab us a bowl and give you guys a little peek at how this turned out here. Got my little soup ladle type deal. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Look at that. It's that cream of mushroom, that lemon and lime, that butter, that beef broth. Oh. Yeah. Right at the end, I'm gonna hit it. Just a little bit more garlic salt. And boom, that is our easy. It took us maybe 15 minutes earlier in the day. This is venison. I mean, that is so hot. It's so good. There ain't nothing left. The meat basically just starts to melt. Yep, in your mouth. And that's good. That's really good. Really hot, but damn, that's delicious. Alright, there we go, guys. I'm here trying to get you guys content, trying to keep you guys fed, and you know, especially trying to give you guys different ideas. You know, these ain't off the wall recipes, they ain't super hard recipes. I ain't out here doing, I mean, ask my friends. I'm out here doing culinary magic with a couple of ingredients. But I ain't expecting you to do, you know, culinary magic. You know, I'm doing what we can with what we have is what we do here. And yeah, I'm gonna, how about give you a little break out this potato, just kind of slides right in, and you can take a look. The whole potato, all the way through, got that same color. It's that beef broth, that butter, that cream of mushroom, soaked in with all that venison juice. This is gonna be killer. I might even butter a piece of bread or something like that to dip in it a little bit. But you know what? It don't matter. Because that right there, boom, boom. Here we go, guys. Have a good night. Hopefully we'll get some more video for you soon.